Actually feels good to be doing this since I've been driving a car for 5 hours. It'll feel good. Okay, so it's 9:30. We're gonna start out a little bit differently today. I'm gonna have everybody stand up. Move my camera so you can see me. What we're gonna start out with is just a little bit of a dynamic warm up. So, and then we'll go into some breathing and whatnot. So we're gonna start out with 20 body squats. So all you're gonna do is be like this. If you want, you can bring your legs as wide as you need. And also, like, one of the things I do is I point my feet out a little bit. You don't have to do that, but I don't have great mobility. You're just gonna come down to about 90 degrees and come back up. So we'll do 20 of these. This is actually one of the ways I do a warm up before every strength routine that I do. And a few of these exercises are some of the things that I do when I warm up for my strength routine. Once you've done around with 20, I'm just going to move the camera a little bit for this, so hopefully everybody can see me a little bit better. I think that's better. We're going to do 20 lateral. So you're going to go 10 each side. So you're going to go down, come back up. Go down, squat down, come back up. You'll feel a good stretch in your adductors. Think about activating your glute here. Nice, because it wakes the body up. Once you've done 10, just switch sides. I find kind of like when we do the adductor stretch, I'm definitely tighter on one side than the other. This is also like a good warm up that you can do before you go running or if you're going to go out cycling. Okay, once you've done 10, we're going to do a front lunge. You're going to come forward and you're going to lift your arm up and stretch like that and then come back. You're just going to do 5 each side. You'll feel a nice stretch through your hip flexor and also down through your side. Try to think about using your glutes when you come down and getting those activated. Once you've done 5, you can switch sides. You may also find, I find, depending upon how tired I am, particularly on this one, if your balance is a little off, that can be a good indicator of fatigue. So my strength coach, whom some of you might know, Charlie, he uses this warm up to kind of gauge how I'm moving in terms of my body. Okay, so once you've done that, you're gonna get down on your back on the mat and we're gonna go into our breathing exercises that you guys are familiar with. So we're gonna be down on our backs. Your feet can either be flat on the ground or up in the air at 90 degrees. You're gonna breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. When you breathe in, think about expanding through your rib cage. You want your back flat on the ground. And when you breathe out, breathe all the way out, all the air out so that your low core engages. And then when you breathe back in, you want to try to keep that core engaged. So we're going to do 5 breaths here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. When you're done with your breath, pause for 2 seconds before you take another breath in. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Three more like that. Two more. Last one. Good. We're gonna flip over into our stomachs and we're gonna do a round of cobras. We're gonna do 15 press-ups, like so. Really think about relaxing your butt and your back. And just come up, pause for a couple seconds, and then go back down. If you have low back issues, my husband is a sports chiropractor, and anytime people have low back issues, this is one of the best exercises that you can do to help with that. A lot of people feel like they want to bend over forward, but actually doing this and really stretching your front core, and then also thinking about keeping your butt and your back loose, helps to relieve the tension in your back. So if you have low back pain at all, sometimes doing this can be multiple times a day, can be really helpful. But of course, consult with a doctor before you do that. Nice work. Give everybody a minute to finish up. Okay, so once you're done with that, we're gonna go into everybody's favorite, the glute bridge. I really always love to include this in our sessions because it's just a really good way to get your glutes activated. So we're gonna do, start with glute bridge, then we're gonna go into Russian twist. We're gonna do an exercise today that I don't even know what the name is for them, but I'll show you what they are. And then we're gonna do a mobility exercise. We'll do 2 rounds of that. So first thing, we're gonna hold for I gotta get my timer up, 1 minute, a single leg, starting in 3, 2, 1, and we're up. You can have your hands on the ground, but I don't want you pushing yourself up with your hands. So the best thing, if you can do it, is to have your hands up in the air. And as I've mentioned so many times, you don't want to be arching your back. You only want to be going up as much as your glutes and your hamstrings will allow. And I would say every so often to squeeze your glutes, make sure they're staying active. You may find as the exercise goes on that you're able to go up a little bit higher. We have about 20 seconds left here. Ten seconds, nice job. You may be feeling a little bit of a burn now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch sides. We were doing it previously for 30 seconds, but I've upped it to a minute because we need to continue to progress. And it's good to continue to push yourself and start to feel yourself challenged a little bit more. For those of you guys that are eventually able to travel, this is one of my favorite exercises to do after I travel because I just find that it really helps with getting myself reactivated. You guys have about 20 seconds left here. Great work. Keep yourself strong. Don't arch that low back. Keep your core strong. Really squeeze a glute and hamstring. 5 seconds here. 3, 2, 1, down. Nice work. That was good. Okay, so we're gonna go into Russian twists. We're gonna do 1 minute of Russian twists. If you guys aren't familiar, you're gonna have your feet up. You're gonna be leaning a little bit back. The further back you go, the harder it's gonna be. But the key is to keep your back as straight as possible. So we're gonna go into it in 3, 2, 1, go. I like this exercise because it works the core, works your obliques, and also gets your hip flexors a little bit, which is really good. The other thing to think about too when you're doing this is you're definitely gonna have a little bit of movement in your legs, but you don't wanna be moving your legs like this. So try to keep them as still as possible and really just move through your upper body. You guys are doing great. 40 seconds in, you have 20 seconds left. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, and down. Nice work. Okay, I'm gonna show you what this next exercise is, and then we're gonna do 10 of them. So you're gonna actually be in a similar position as to what you were for the Russian twist, and you're gonna extend out and then come back up. Extend out and come back up. And we're gonna do 10 of those, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You may feel that a little bit in your hip flexors after doing the Russian twist, but that's okay. Okay, the next one we're gonna go into is a mobility exercise. You guys should be familiar with this. It's called open book. So you're gonna be on your side. You want your knees to be stacked. So you don't want when you do the exercise, you don't want your top knee to be shifting back. You wanna stay stacked, and you're just gonna open up to one side, and we're gonna do 5 each side. Really try to think about when you do this, you want to be twisting through like your ribs and your upper back. And some of you may get a little bit of a back adjustment or a hip adjustment, but the idea is to keep your hips stacked and to really be twisting through your upper spine. It's supposed to be a thoracic exercise. Once you've done 5, you can switch sides. I always try to think about breathing through my ribs, kind of like when we were doing those breathing exercises, because it really helps to open and expand that area as well. Each time you open up, just try to go a little bit further. The idea, ideally, is to be able to put both shoulders on the ground, which I cannot do, but once you've done 5, we're gonna go back to the glute bridge. This time, instead of holding, we're gonna do 15 single leg bridges. So 15 each side. So similar position, just one leg is gonna be down. You're just gonna go down and come up. Try to have your hands off the ground if you can, so that you're not using your arms to push. And really think about squeezing through the glutes and stabilizing your hips. If you're finding you're getting a lot of movement, that's not what you want. So you need to just go slowly, methodically. You don't need to go up super high. Once you've done 15, you can switch sides. You really need to engage your low core too to keep that hip stability. There's all kinds of different things that you can do with glute bridges too to help, you know, just get that glute activation. You can do single leg, you can do double leg, you can do obviously the single leg holds. You can lift your toes up. There's a lot of different variations that you can do to work on activating different things. Once you're done with 15, we are going to go back into the Russian twists. So we're going to do another minute here, and we will start in 3, 2, 1, go. Try to push yourself a little bit more on this round. See if you can go back a little bit further. Think about having your back maybe a little bit straighter. Focus on a little bit less movement in those legs. Or the ideal is when you're doing this, you don't want to just feel it in your front, like in your hip flexors and in your front abs. You actually also want to feel it in your obliques too. So think about trying to feel those muscles and really activate those muscles with each rep that you do. You guys have about 20 seconds left. Nice work. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, stop. Nice job. Okay, we're gonna go back into the, I call them V-ups, but I don't think that that's like the actual term for them. But we're gonna do, this time we're gonna do 12. So we're gonna go up 2 just for this round. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Think about keeping that low core tight. 5, 6, halfway. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The one thing I'd also mention about those is you can definitely be hunched over, which is, I have a tendency to do that, but kind of like the Russian twist, the more you straighten your back and do it, the more you're gonna really strengthen your entire front core. So that's a good thing to think about when you're doing them. Okay, we're gonna go back into the open books, just 5 of those, and then we'll go into our next round. Think about trying to go a little bit deeper this time with these and see if you can get a little bit more open. Again, really think about not allowing that top knee to come back at all. You don't want it to be sliding back because then you're just rotating your hips and you're not actually getting the most out of the exercise, which is a thoracic exercise. Once you've done 5, switch sides. Nice work. Okay, everybody's favorite exercise, the single leg iso hold. I'm going to show you how it's done if anybody has not done it before. We're going to hold for 1 minute on this round. So let me explain it to you and then I'll tell you when we're going to start. So you're going to be in a lunge position. You do not want your knee over your ankle. So you want to make sure that your knee is aligned with your ankle. You're going to raise your toe up like so because that decreases your stability a little bit. And you're going to come down into a lunge position and you're just going to hold. The key, I'm going to give you a little secret, but the key is to think about activating your glute. If you don't do that, you're going to put stress on your hamstring. Your hamstring is going to get really tired. So the more you transfer that to your glute, the better. You're definitely going to get a hip flexor stretch, but the point of this exercise is to activate that glute and to sit there with the glute activated for a period of time. So we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. The point of bringing your toe up or your heel up is to, like I said, to have that instability. So when you have that instability and you're activating your glute, you're sort of triggering all these different little muscle fibers to on the stabilizing end, which is even better for that glute activation. You really want to try to be as close to 90 degrees as you can be. Remember, keep on reminding yourself not to have that knee over your ankle. There's other exercises where you can do that, but not for this one. And just think about that glute. You guys are doing great. You have 15 seconds left. Nice job. Try to go down a little bit further if you can. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Come up slowly. Oh no, my taper. Hold on. Sorry. A little windy here. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. We're gonna go down in 3, 2, 1, and we're on. I've mentioned this before. On a lot of these exercises, you may notice that one side is harder than the other. For me, the left side is definitely the hardest, and that's okay. Just do what you can. Really think about getting that glute activated. Lift that toe up. Try to keep pressure on your big toe too if you have a tendency to roll to the outside. This will really help with your running too. 20 seconds left. Nice work. Try to go down a little bit further if you can. 15 more seconds. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Come up. Nice job. That's a hard one. Okay, we're gonna go into front plank, and we're actually going to try to hold for 90 seconds. So if you don't do that, or if you don't think you can do that, or it's too hard, you can go into front plank, and if you just need to take a rest, come down and then go back up. So we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 90 seconds of plank. Again, I've talked about this before, but you don't want to be piked. You don't want to be slouched. You want to be in like a strong position. Try to get your back as flat as possible. Really think about engaging your obliques and your lower core. For me, I find when my low core is activated, that's when I can really be strong in this position. You guys are doing great. You are almost halfway through. Nice job. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can raise, kind of do a marching action and raise your leg, but you have to keep your hips stable, which is the key. Think about if you are running and it's the back part of your stride. Just 15 seconds left. You guys are doing great. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Nice work. That was really good. We're gonna go into a side plank now. We're gonna hold each side for 1 minute. Nothing fancy on this one. On the second one, we're gonna add a little something. So we will start in 3, 2, 1. If you can't hold the plank up like this, you can be down on your knees like so. If you can also stack your feet, but that's a little bit harder. Staggered stance is a little bit easier. You can have your hand on your hip, you can have your hand up in the air, whatever feels good for you. Really think about squeezing that low glute. Definitely will feel your obliques on this side. You guys are doing great, halfway there. $15 more seconds. Really squeeze that lower glute. You got it. 3, 2, 1, and down. Nice work. Switch sides. We're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, and we're up. Definitely kind of like the plank, like you don't want to be piked. You don't want your shoulders to be too far forward. You really want to try to have your hips and your ankles and your shoulders in line with one another. Nice job, guys. Halfway there. $20 seconds left. Squeeze that low glute. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we're down. Nice job. Okay, we're going back to the single leg iso. This time we're just gonna hold for 45 seconds. So again, you're gonna have your toe up, and we are gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Let's get into it. Really try to think about having your hips square too. You definitely, the more you do that, you can get more of that hip flexor stretch. Great job. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1, up. Switch sides. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Nice work. Got about 20 seconds left here. They're more than halfway. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, and up. Nice job. All right, we're gonna do just 30 seconds of shoulder taps. So you're gonna be in an elevated plank. And the goal here is to not move your hips. So you don't wanna go fast, you just wanna go really slow, really methodical. And we'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. Really think about engaging those obliques, the lower core, because all of those help stabilize the hips. I've mentioned this a number of times, but this is one of my favorite exercises for running, because I think that when you have that core stability, in this position and you get the lower core activated, it really helps with preventing hip drop when you're running. Nice work. Just 15 more seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. So have side plank each side. We're just going to do 30 seconds each side. On this one, if you can, you don't have to, but I'd like to see your feet stacked and actually try to incorporate 10 leg raises in there if you can. If you can't, that's more than okay. If you need to be on your knees, that's okay too, but just want to try to challenge yourself a little bit more, okay? Here we go. When you do the leg raises, if you're doing them, make sure that you're not getting any movement or hip drop. So try to do them slowly, methodically. 5 more seconds. Nice job. And down. Switch sides. 3, 2, 1, and we're up. The more you can squeeze that low glute, the more stable you're going to be when you do these. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1, down. Nice job, everybody. That was good. Tried to change it up a little bit today. So great work. It's really fun to see everybody. And next week I'll be back in San Francisco and excited to see you all again. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Sarah. Bye.
Thanks.